that Muslims believe that Christ wasn't the one who was crucified. So if you're going to give me a list of academic, this person is stated.
So let me come to that point then. Let me come to that point then. Let me come to that point.
That's just a non-point.
Let me come to that point.
Fair enough.
Let me come to that point. Let me come to that point. Let me come to that point, yeah. Because the thing is, if you're saying that Allah deceived everyone into thinking that someone was crucified who was what? No, you have said, and the Quran states, what the Quran states is that the Jews claim that they have crucified the Messiah Jesus, but verily they have not. It was made to appear to them. Who made it to appear to them? Allah. So if Allah deceives the people into thinking that Christ was crucified and allowed that lie to be spread around the world for 600 years before he decides to correct it, then your God, let me finish. Are we just going to interrupt one another now? Shall we just do that? Shall we just start interrupting one another? Right, so from now on, I'm going to interrupt him. One second, I'm going to interrupt him going forward because that's the kind of debate he wants. So the reality is, if Allah deceives people for 600 years, then that means that he is an established deceiver, an established liar.
Yes.
And in your own hadiths, you wouldn't trust someone in the chain of hadiths who was a liar, so you wouldn't trust Allah if he was in the chain of an hadith about Muhammad. You would see the name Allah in the hadith chain and you would go, well, we can't trust this hadith. It's da'if. Why is it da'if? Because Allah is a known liar. Now, if Allah is a liar, how do you know he's not lying to you about what he said about Muhammad?
You literally apply that argument to literally everything you say. That's a
Go on then,
flawed
do it.
foundation. You
Do it.
literally just said, if Allah did this, therefore it was a deception. And how could
What
your
else would you
Allah-
call it?
How could your Allah?
What
allow
else
such
would
a
you
thing?
call it?
Listen.
What else would you call it?
So then you could literally use
What
that
else would you
argument
call
for
it?
everything. You could literally, how does Allah?
What
or
else
God
would you
allow
call it?
Cancer in children. How does Allah allow all the
What else
wars
would you
to
call
happen?
it? What else would you call it?
We don't know his.
What else
the
would you
reason
call
why
it?
he did it.
That's not my question.
No,
I didn't ask the reason why he did it.
You call it.
What else would you call it?
What else would I call it?
What would you call it?
God's will.
God's will. What happened? Describe what happened to people. What did people see on the cross according to the Islamic perspective?
From the Islamic perspective, the true believers knew it wasn't.
No. What did the people who saw that man on the cross that they thought was Jesus, what did they see?
They saw a crucifixion.
Of who? From their perspective.
The people who wanted to see Jesus crucified.
What did they see?
They saw Jesus crucified.
And was it Jesus on the cross?
No.
Was
Not according to Islam.
So in other words, they saw something that wasn't true. Is that correct?
If God willed for certain people to see that, then yeah.
Yes, it is correct.
Because people.
What do you call it?
People who wanted to see.
If I tricked you into believing something to be true that wasn't true, what would you call me? A liar. He said he would call me a liar. So when I trick him into believing something that's not true, he would call me a liar, but he won't call Allah a liar for doing exactly the same thing. Ladies and gentlemen, if Muslims accept that Allah was willing to lie to the entire world for 600 years, allowing countless generations of people to die, believing something that was false, then how do you know, Muslims, that Allah isn't lying to you now about Muhammad, and that in another 600 years he's going to go, surprise, I was lying all along?